It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started today with another video, man. This one's going to be a quicker one, but I just want to get this out the way, head to work. And I think this is a very, very crucial topic. So if you're tuning in, catching this, catching the replay, I really appreciate you first and foremost. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for adding your energy, your comments, your fuel into this, because this is an egregore by itself, right? This is an energy, this is a thought form that will keep moving. Primal Sutra is an energy that stretches beyond time and space, okay, guys? So we have to understand how to work with this energy within ourselves, okay? Now, let's first and foremost understand that there's a lot of light workers out there, correct? And a lot of light workers that you know, just think about them. Okay, think about them and understand they're either struggling with money, they're, hyper feminized, they're stuck in their old ways, maybe they're in their wounded masculine, and, they're bypassing certain ideas about what femininity means to them, what masculinity means to them. Their animus or anima isn't working, right? I've noticed this in a lot of light workers, including myself. When I first started this journey, I would try out all the modalities, right? Tried Reiki, tried pranic healing, but ultimately energy work is when I started to get a basic understanding of energy work, it helped me to tap into this gift, my own intuition, which really started to sharpen as I moved forward in this journey. Because I understood that from working on one polarity, the other one can finally grow. It's like the soil that needs each other to integrate and individuate in this lifetime. So are you living your myth? Are you living your myth, or are you living somebody else's storyline? Are you living a forced or imposed storyline? Your parents want you to do it, so you did it. Your work needs you to do that on time. You have to do it, right? Creating this vocabulary for yourself takes away your own autonomy, right? When you say, I have to do this, instead of what? I choose to do this. I'm the one making the choice. I'm actually the choice point. And it was until I got to this understanding that I am the choice point, I'm the cause of my life, that I was still in this kind of light slave mentality, right? And light slaves can also become light hustlers in a way, because they're hustling the light. They're trying to manufacture presence. They're trying to manufacture authenticity. Rather than what? Just being present, being authentic, being pure, speaking from the heart and the mind, right? Allowing for that coherence to take place. But for a lot of us, we don't allow that coherence to take place. We give ourselves all sorts of excuses, okay, that prevent us from actually ascending in this lifetime and becoming more cognizant as well as conscious on this journey. So I started my journey learning a lot about flow state. I think that was like the bridge that I needed to walk at the time, that needed me to explore beyond my own ego. Because what the flow state really is it's going outside of the self, right? It's selflessness, it's timelessness, it's effortlessness. So once we understand that we are these things already, it starts to bring us back to the Tao in a sense, okay? Now, there's a concept in the Tao that's also very interesting, because, and I'm relating this back to Buddhism as well. So I look at all sorts of religions as maps, right? To get us towards our final frontier in a sense, okay? We're at a spiritual war right now. World War III is gonna be a spiritual one. So you better watch out, and you better understand how sharp your mind is, okay? It's all about the mental world, which is coming up. You gotta have a strong mentality, okay? And through that mentality, then you can start to create, okay? Before you've tapped into that mentality, it's not accessible to you. Those gifts aren't accessible to you. So sure, you've done some cacao ceremonies and taken plant medicine. Sure, you've done, and traveling around the world and, exploring, meeting brothers, or joining a brotherhood, or maybe you've done some of these things, okay? Or maybe even join a sisterhood, right? If you're a woman watching. But now I want you to really consider something. Were you getting the results that you set out for yourself on the spiritual path, at least? Were you getting those gnosis, those downloads, those moments of Satori? Or were they just kind of, oh, I already know this, okay? So when you become highly tapped in on this process, you will look at a lot of spiritual information out there and be like, oh, I already know this, okay? Yeah, I gotta live in my heart. Yeah, I know. I gotta, be present. Yeah, I know. I gotta meditate every day. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But you don't allow yourself to actually learn from what is the truth of that lightness, that presence, that divinity that you're tapped into, right? You're not channeling that. You're channeling maybe what? Oh, maybe I could be like Grant Cardone one day. Maybe I can be like, Wes Watson one day. Perhaps I can have my own supercar. Perhaps I can have this. Perhaps I can have that. Perhaps I can. And you're just going by what media is showing you. Okay? Now you can spam Eckhart Tolle all you want, bro. Okay? It is not until you step into the dojo of presence that you will be absolutely present. Okay? So it's important to understand these things, okay? A lot of spiritual bypassing going on. A lot of people using spirituality to stay the same, stay stuck in their own old patterns. They use spirituality to justify the fact that they're like that, and no, we can't because of another, this thing, another attunement we're doing or something like that, right? So instead, I want you to get really clear on what is your drive, what is that motivation, right? That's pulling you through, and understands that there's this divine law running the software, right? And it's going to guide you along on this path, okay? I don't want you to try to copy what other light workers are doing, okay? Oh yeah, Aaron Dowdy told me to do it like this, so I did it, okay? So that must mean that, hold on, people are calling me, so. Okay. So Aaron Abke did it, So that means I can do it too, right? It's like we see these spiritual pioneers or people who are coming out of the woodworks, right? Maybe they blow up or they get on social media. You see and notice a lot of their content, right? And you get to this point where you're like, yeah, they're correct, right? They're right. But they cannot be my only mentor or guide on this planet, right? There's got to be some level of an internal guidance system, a GPS, you could say, guru positioning system, God positioning system, whatever you want to call it, right? There is that within you, okay? There is that within you. So I want you to really access that as a light worker, not bypass that, right? Because the light is going to end up teaching you many things about yourself that you didn't know were even possible before, okay? Because if you're going based on your own defense mechanisms and what your ego is telling you, you're gonna get stuck in that negative belief system, that loop, which constantly loops. It creates negative synchronicity. That's what happens, right? So you have a negative belief that creates negative synchronicities. This happens, this other bad thing will happen, then this other bad thing happens, and it stacks. But if you have a positive belief, if you reframe that negative belief, that limiting belief, into a positive one, where you encourage yourself, you encourage not only yourself, but your tribe, the world at large, okay? You don't keep all that pride for yourself. It's a divine pride you live through, okay? You merge with the I am presence. So this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people think that, oh, just, being a god, oh, that means I'm being narcissistic. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm really, giving myself love. That's not even close to what I'm saying, right? Divine pride is the access point between you and the deity or the higher powers at large, your monad, your higher self, okay? And a lot of people are tapped out of that. They're cut off from that circulation because they have a different perception about spirituality. They think that spirituality has to look like this. Very gentle, very nurturing, very calm, very feminine. And we're missing that Vajra, we're missing that. That energy that we want to access and release as well, to understand that our primal nature is just as divine as our higher nature. Okay? Now this is not some kind of paganism, that's what not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you from Ram Comes Wind From Lam comes fire, right? There's a process through which, through the sound, there is this merging, there is this ascension process happening, right? So you understand when you're saying a mantra, you're not just saying it, you're hearing the sound of it changing your beingness. You're not using your guru's mind to meditate, you were noticing his presence, therefore it's changing you. Like imagine if you had Yogananda meditating right next to you as you were meditating. Okay? Imagine if you had Yogananda, Osho, okay, Papaji, Muji, all of them, right? Imagine you had a cacophony of spiritual mentors and guys just sitting in the same room where you're meditating. What will that do to you? Okay, what will that do to you? It will make you engaged, right? There's some level of like a kind of a, I know it's not right to have this, but we all have this. It's this competitive drive. So if you see someone else working twice as hard as you, you might be in an environment where you're like, no, I'm gonna have to be better, right? And so that challenge that we look for, and it comes out through video games or porn or whatever, like other things that aren't important, right? They're just extraneous things that take up time rather than what? Creating time. Having activities that create more timelessness, including meditation, including mindfulness practice, right? Including things that actually amplify you, embody you in towards your highest timeline, okay? And this isn't easy either. A lot of people think that it's easy, that it's just, oh, I'll just show up and then it'll happen, okay? Let me just, I was asking my dad about the imagination plane and whether it changes the etheric plane. He said, go to the Kadampa KDT or whatever it's called, right? Kadampa New Center, or the NKT, my bad. The New Kadampa Center, he said, just go there and notice the vibe of the place. Because Geshe-la is there and his energy is clearly there, you walk in and people are like, what is this place? Because it kind of looks like a Hogwarts castle when you first arrive there, right? It's like a castle, and then behind are the temples. So you end up going there, and then you're like, wait, what is this place? Am I in Hogwarts right now? Right? It's like, where's Professor McGonagall, right? And then you go around, then you see, oh, this is a Dharma center. Okay, that makes sense, okay? So he was telling me this, and I was saying that, oh, wow, that's interesting, because he is changing that center with his energy, with his mind, with his aura, with his tech, that he's taking years and years and years of, critical study to break down and make easy for people who are just being introduced to this, right? And there's so much sophistication from different cultures, different heritages. I know if you're coming from different countries, man, and if you're traveling, if you're absorbing that spiritual information from those different places, you are gonna just find yourself in that wonderful stream of consciousness, that effortlessness that will guide you towards where you really need to go, okay? You don't need to push for it. A lot of people are trying to push still. Even as a light worker, they're trying to push their way. Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel! Today excuse me? Where's your gravitas? Okay? If I want to work with a shaman, I need a shaman with balls, bro. I don't need a shaman who's like, hey there! You want to try some plant medicine? What are you talking about? Right? But this is how light workers present themselves. Okay? Yes, it's okay I'm goofy myself, okay? I love doing voices, acts, but that's just me, And I embrace that. I'm not hiding from that. But then there's other people who have that persona, right? It's their persona. They're pretending. They're not really that happy, chirpy like person, unless they are. Then that's different, right? If they're truly authentic and like that, that's different than actually pretending and being a nice guy is dangerous, right? Being an actual kind person is awesome. You see what I'm saying? So it comes back down to your own truth with this thing. Now, what if your truth is like, it's authentic for me to just stay in a basement and not do anything? Okay, that's fine, okay? Nobody's stepping on your toes. You could do whatever you want, man, okay? But isn't there this little voice inside of you that's telling you, like, I need to improve. I need to be better, right? And that could be the voice of your ego, sure, but it can also be the voice of reason, the voice of logos, the masculine voice in your head, the fatherly voice that tells you, listen, enough is enough. You gotta level up in this life. You gotta keep moving forward. You can't let time slow you down or circumstances and situations slow you down anymore. It's time for you to set your own pace, live life on your own terms, be financially free. It is time. It is time, and we're all being called towards this awakening, this new power, this divine essence we all have as light workers, okay? Okay? Maybe, I don't know, in sisterhoods how it is, probably, to do more research with that, but it's like you maybe go into a spiritual sisterhood and you're like, they're all just being fake with each other or something, right? They're not being real. Like, yeah, they're showing with their face that they're engaged and smiling, but it's really like, you see through that, right? A lot of us intuitives, that's why it doesn't work, this process, right? Intuitive people will pick up the real essences from other intuitive people, right? They'll be able to tell this person has spidey senses, okay? This person has something within them that helps them, that guides them, that moves them forward, that doesn't confuse them way more. And if you notice these light workers that are currently in this current timeline, okay, a lot of them chose to incarnate here, and then once they've incarnated here, they're going, get me out of here. Okay, you chose this. Yes, I understand this earthly realm doesn't align. Okay, maybe you're a star seed, you belong to your, home planet. I get it. But you are here now. Therefore, you do have a responsibility to share your gift, however mystical, celestial it is. You have these healing powers, you just have to access them and not let society tell you this is right, and this is right, and therefore you have to follow these rules in order to get this, and then you have to level up, and then you have to do this other thing, and then also you have to do this other thing. Okay? And then you'll be good enough. Yeah, right, man. I'm good enough because I exist. I'm here for a reason. Okay? Earlier I thought, yeah, I need to fit in. Hey, I'd much rather stand out and belong, find my belongingness through standing out, right? Not being in this constant, maze of spirituality, being drawn from one path working to another one, okay? And you have to really look at that. You have to be like, wait a second, that isn't right, actually. In my spiritual path, there is something greater calling me, right? Summoning me towards my greatest self. And that's what the true light worker knows. That's what they understand. When you understand this, you will never be the same again, ultimately. Because each light worker who's gone on a journey, maybe you've learned some modality, maybe you've learned some kind of Kundalini body work or somatic therapy or something, right? You've learned something which is a technology that is helpful. It heals you and it heals others, okay? Now, learn the energetics, learn the metaphysics behind all of this stuff that you're doing, okay? Okay, you're trying to sell some kind of product, right? Incense holders or whatever, okay? Incense holders, okay? Or whatever. Say you're trying to sell some product. As a spiritual person, bro, you gotta be so transparent. You get what I mean? That stream of consciousness from you selling this thing, you got to find the niche that loves this thing. Alhambra furniture, or like looks into this kind of stuff, right? Or maybe a spiritual place. You go to many different, spiritual centers and dharma centers. Maybe you go to, different locations, maybe spiritual shops, okay? So you got to understand your niche, right? You have your own spirituality, that's for sure, but then there's a group within that spiritual community. By the way, I'm seeing hawks again, guys, outside my window. You guys know what that means, okay? Haru is present with us, and he is here. So, man, they always follow me around. Even my cousin, bro, my cousin brother, he shared a picture where a hawk was looking at him in the eyes, and I've had that occurrence multiple times, maybe like 5-6 times. You know what I mean? Skirt! Mathis, how you enjoying this, horizontal view, man? Is this better? Is this more like, engaging? Because I just figured it out today. So I was like, flexing, But yeah. Man, I find it so interesting how So many people who call themselves light workers are barely working with the light. You know, they're not working with their lightness or divinity. They're working with something else. I don't know what it is, okay? But that force, that energy, may the force be with you. We say may the flow be with you, may the Vajra be with you, as Ryanji said last time as well, right? Hey, that is it, right? But we can't put a name to the Tao. We can't be like, it's exactly like this and it's exactly like that. No, it's formless, shapeless. We can understand it only to a certain precipice, okay? Ryan G also has a big win. I'm not going to share that. Anyway, that's for the adepts. I understand that this journey will reveal, okay, your next steps. It's a revelation happening, you know? It's a revelation happening. It's an unfolding. Simplicity of essence, yeah. Because all of these path workings and spiritual communities, what do? They point you back towards your heart. Stay centered, be aligned, stay present, and you got this. Okay? Yet, we come in with our own solution, our own grandiose, great affinity that will unlock all of them. Okay? We want to do that. It feels glorious, okay? To be able to have that level of a control, but we also have to understand spiritual community is not about control, it's about surrendering to that divine essence, okay? Now, surrendering doesn't mean giving up all boundaries. That's not what surrendering means, okay? Surrendering doesn't mean like I've erased, right, the outlines of my body so much that I can't tell someone no, or I can't, give someone an exact, coordinate or structure about something, okay? So I think, number one, become a very, very good communicator, because when you can communicate, you create, okay? You create through your communication. Abracadabra, I'll create as I speak. So, I understand, I'm getting calls right now because I gotta head to work. But yeah, maybe I'll end this right now in like a few minutes. Any questions, guys? Anything coming up in terms of this theme? Light worker, light master versus light slave and the difference between them, right? And how light workers want to, show their own kind of image, in a certain way, instead of actually 8 minutes. Hey, it's 222 as you type that, Mathis. Man, it's so powerful because once we understand that we are the light, right? We're not trying to access light. We're not trying to go towards it. We're not trying to... the light is at the end of the tunnel. If everything is light, then there's no tunnel, my friend. You created that tunnel through your own mind. You created like some kind of a dark room, a space that you can't crawl. That is all mental. That is your mental creation and a creation of darkness. So what if through your imagination you could actually hold the virtuous images that override the negative ones? What if you could hold the power of positive imagery in your mind so much that it overrides all of the negative gunk that you have to deal with? Even as a healer, you sometimes might be absorbing the people that you're healing's energy, correct? So this is why clean, 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 purify, 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 Stretch your body, like get out of your own way, you know what I mean? And just be pure, be true, be authentic as a light worker. Yeah, if you're being a little bit of a pussy, you got to own that. You got to be like, I am, I'm being a bitch right now. I got to level it up, right? I got to step it up on this spiritual path and on this journey, because I recognize that this is not going to serve me any longer. My tribe will respect a leader, and it's time for leadership right now, okay? It's time for leadership right now. As we're going into this new portal with July, we will start to understand this. If you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you actually know that the light trap, which holds you in karmic strings. Yep. That's why near-death experiences show you that. Absolutely. Yeah, I've experienced that. The light trap. It's the light trap. Constantly in this karmic cycle, never clearing the karmic debt. It's always coming back. It's like you're falling and then you're getting punished for falling. and then you're climbing, and then you're falling, and then you're getting punished for, you know, it's like, ah, get me out of samsara. But then you understand, wait a second, you mean the video game controller has been here the whole time? You know, I'm the myth? You mean I'm the myth and I have to live this as the myth to create a mythology? Okay. Okay. Now you could read, you know, these old Robert Bly books and be like, I'm a mythopoetic warrior shaman now. Great, fantastic. Okay, you've just given yourself a new title. However, prove it to me that you are. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. You're an interdimensional time traveler. Now prove it to me that you are. Show me. Let me feel it through your vibe, through your energy, through your aura, through your resonance. Let's get it today. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same, guys. I gotta get going. Us. We're all gonna make it. Peace.